Hello everybody, my name's the Artful Dodger. Welcome to this video for those of you who've been fortunate or unfortunate enough to have stumbled across it. This is not my main account, as anyone who knows me will know, because this account has got 4 very tiny ships in the port, whereas my main account has got pretty much all of the ships on the port. So why am I doing a video with a Weymouth sat on my screen? In fact, why am I doing a video at all after all these years? Simples. Because I've been playing the game quite a lot recently and suddenly realised that the whole environment of the game is really based around endgame players. There's an awful lot of strategy guides out there for people on builds, on ships, on captains, on tactics, but the poor new players, who are absolutely the lifeblood of this game, very little to help them, because we're trying to give them builds that they can't access yet, or captain stats that they don't have access to yet. So my idea was to go back, create a brand new account, because I don't want to go back on the tier 2 ship on my main account and just farm wins. That's just not very ethical. So I created a new account, a Smurf account, which is possibly even less ethical, but there you go, lesser of two evils. And the idea is to just play some really basic games on some really low tier ships for new players to explain a little bit about the tactics. I'm not going to waffle on too much longer. All I'm going to say is I hope you find something interesting in these videos. If you do, drop me a comment below. If you don't, drop me a comment in the video below and I'll try and be a bit more useful next time. Let's drop in to a very quick random battle in the Weymouth. Little note here, because it's a new account and I haven't even unlocked all of the progression yet, I think what they do now is they put you in random battles with mainly bots, but with maybe 2 or 3 human players on either side, and that's what seems to be happening to me at the minute. And the question I was interested to find out as to is, does one salty old sea dog make a difference in these battles, or am I just more tin to the fodder going to the bottom of the ocean? We'll jump in a battle, we'll have a look, and we'll have a chat in the battle. See you there. So, here we go, with the Tier 2 British cruiser, the Weymouth. Most notable that it does not have high explosive shells. It only has armour piercing. It's fairly manoeuvrable, obviously, no torpedoes either. Got a very, very nice triple option for healing, which comes in really useful, and a repair. So, what are the tactics with the Weymouth, apart from trying not to get sunk, of course? Armour-piercing shells. If you're firing at destroyers, you want to either be at range, or you want to have a little bit of an angle on there. If you try and broadside a destroyer close up, you're just going to over-penetrate, which means you'll do absolutely negligible or no damage. And on a destroyer, because they do not have citadels, you can't do any major damage by really punching them through amidships. So, that's the tactic with destroyers. Exactly the reverse with cruisers. Then you want a nice big flat side to have a go at them on. So there we see a destroyer. It's at quite long range, which means we're very unlikely to overpen, so we may as well have a pop at it. You know, guns not firing do no damage. Try and judge the lead time. Takes a bit of getting used to when you're in a ship you haven't played for a long time, because different shells have got different arcs. That looks like I'm going to land behind, because I didn't give enough lead time. Now there's a nice bit of smoke there. Thank you very much, Mr. Destroyer in front of me. I'll have a little bit of that smoke. Ow, okay. Lots of torpedoes. My intention here is to try and port around the nearest one, so I want it to just miss my back end and then swing it around. Unfortunately, this ship isn't quite as fast as I thought, so I'm going to take a glancing blow, and as you can see, it did very little damage. I'm going to repair it. I don't like flooding. So I'm now in the smoke, I've eaten a torpedo, and there in front of us we have a cruiser. Let's give him a couple of pops, because again, guns not firing are doing no damage at all. Now, remember, it's a tier 2 battle. These are probably new players. They don't understand the difference between angling your ship and giving a nice juicy broadside. So I'm going to guess that he's just going to sail nice and straight round this island. So let's see if we can have a surprise waiting for him. It's at this point I wish I was in a destroyer or a ship with torpedoes, because we could absolutely just finish him off as he comes around the corner. This is the difference between new players and players who've got a little bit of experience, thinking a little bit further ahead than others. So Now what you'll notice here is, in order to not crash into the island, which is my speciality by the way, I can avoid torpedoes, but weirdly not islands. I'm changing not just direction, but speed to make sure I don't run aground. So here he is, look at this. Oh, what a nice big juicy... Ooh, Citadel. Citadel number 1. Snatch that shot. Is he going to turn, or is he going to keep giving me a broadside? No, there's another Citadel. He's going to keep giving me a broadside. Right, now he's going to turn. Now, I know there's another cruiser. I'm doing a jingles now. I know there's another cruiser coming up right behind me, so I don't want to give him too many shots at me, but I really need to finish this guy off. He's practically dead. I've got 3 heals. He's going to turn his big fat ass towards me, which is not a great tactic under these circumstances, because I can just broadside him. Now, I do have to be aware of the ship that's on my port side. That's the left-hand side, to you landlubbers out there. And there he is. There's the other cruiser. Now, I can see the enemy team are capping our base. How dashed uncivilized of them. So, especially in a game where it's newer players, I can't really rely on my teammates, as I frantically try to avoid running into the ship that I just sank, to protect the cap. So I'm just going to head back there and see if I can help. Now, I'm, just over half health, but I'm not worried. I've got 3 heals left. Also, I have a flag on the ship that prevents me taking a catastrophic explosive damage. So he can't hit my arsenal and just blow me up. He's put me on fire. It's not a biggie. Now, a minute ago I said about not showing your big fat ass to another ship, but the thing is, he's not broadside to me, and he doesn't look as if he's giving any indication of coming broadside to me. And I really need to get into my own cap zone now and start doing some damage there. So I'm going to treat the cruiser to my port side with utter disdain and ignore him. There are bigger fish to fry at this stage. So let's see if we can do some damage to him. There we go. All over penned. Holy cow. Destroyer is angled, and he's dead. So we're in the cap zone. We're also in their cap zone capping as well, so now it should just be a matter of holding on to here. And we got 2 kills. So this guy, who's been really annoying me for a while now, really needs to be dealt with. Now, as I said earlier, I can dodge torpedoes. What I can't dodge is islands. Islands don't leave particularly good trails, and look at that. Holy moly, ran aground already. Just keep pumping in. Don't know where his citadel is. Obviously didn't bring it to the battle because I can't hit it for toffee. If you want to hit citadels, you're really looking at firing just on the waterline. And in this case, doing absolutely nothing. Apart from a lot of damage. And he's dead. There we go. 3rd kill. Battle looks already won. They've completely run out of destroyers already. We've still got a couple left. And we're in their cap zone. So it should now just be a simple matter of making sure that we don't do anything stupid, we don't come out of the cap zone, and we just farm some kills. So what have we done in this battle that maybe a newer player could pick up on? Well, don't give a broadside to anybody. Rule 101. Never let anyone shoot you in your flat side. Always keep some kind of an angle, and in reverse try and shoot them when they're broadside on. Situational awareness. Know where other ships are. If you can know where islands are as well, congrats. Teach me that skill. I've never learned it. And keep an eye out for torpedoes. And just keep those guns firing. So as you can see here, we've got 3 cruisers milling around. They're all in real trouble. We've got enough people back in our cap circle now to make sure it's safe. None of them appear to be heading back to their cap circle. So we switch targets here because he's giving us a bit more of a juicy target to shoot at, especially as he's turning. And we figure as he turns, he gives us something nice and flat to shoot at, and he's dead too. So that's 4 kills. Spoiler alert, I won't get a 5th one, because as you can see, we are about to cap their zone. Frustrating, would have been nice to get a 5th. But it doesn't happen. So there we go. A fairly comfortable battle. And as you can see, I've played 5 battles on the Weymouth, and they've all been wins, and they've all been fairly comfortable. And that's not because I'm some great shakes player, because believe you me, I most certainly am not. What it does make a difference is that your experience, as you play more and more battles, you just learn more about angling, about anticipation. And I think if there was one thing I was going to say to a brand new player, is try to think a little bit ahead. As you're coming around an island, try and anticipate what's there. Keep a really big eye on the minimap as you're sailing around, so that that destroyer that disappeared around that island that you can't see anymore, he's probably still there, and he's probably waiting for you. So just a little bit more advanced thought process going on rather than just sailing around shooting at everything in sight. So I hope you enjoyed that. This video, it's the first time I've used this video editing software. I think there's an awful lot more to do with this video editing software that I haven't got to grips with yet, so I apologise in advance that the video's probably fairly garbage. But I hope you learnt something, and more importantly, I hope you enjoyed it, because I love this game. I played it for a very long time on and off over the years, but I really enjoy it. And if you're a new player, just get involved, have fun, and I promise you, you will improve dramatically just by playing the game. This is the Artful Dodger, signing out. Bye-bye.